Toxic Stress and Illnesses, the ACE Study, Part 2. Welcome to BFAB Made Simple, your daily dose of inspiration designed to help you reinvent yourself by optimizing your body and mind. I am Maria Horstman, a health editor and coach, a fitness trainer, a speaker, and an entrepreneur, founder of bfabbu.com. Our episodes are short and will bring you valuable content and practical nuggets for optimal health and fitness that you can implement ASAP. Let's get you to feel fabulous every day. Are you ready? Check out the show notes to 1, schedule a free call with me to discuss a plan to take your health to the next level. 2, submit a question to be featured in our Ask Me Anything episodes on Sundays. Connect with me on social media and much more. Hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you hear, share with your friends and leave it a rating. Stress and Illnesses, the ACE Study Part 2. Happy day to you. I hope you're feeling vibrant and healthy, and I'm glad that you're spending time with me and listening to the BFAB BU Made Simple. If you're not feeling vibrant or in optimal health, you are ready for a change too. I would love to be part of your health village. So don't spend more time looking around. Schedule a complimentary call at bfabbu.com. And by the way, we have a lot going on, a lot of citations, a lot of resources in today's episodes and the next episode too. So go to the bfabbu.com/podcast to access the transcript for today's episodes and all episodes, and they will contain the links, the citations, and other resources for the podcast. In the past few episodes, I talked about the role of perceptions and how they play this role in our belief system, reactions, habits, and health. I talked about how EVOX sessions have been super helpful to me. In episode 37, I talked about the ACE study. And the ACE stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. And you want to listen to that episode because today we're continuing that discussion. And also, I would love for you to take a few minutes to answer the 10 simple questions and get your score. That will give you really a better understanding and will help you to follow this podcast today closely. So let me share a brief background of the ACE study. In the mid-1980s, Dr. Vincent Felitti was running a very successful obesity clinic. However, he noticed a very unusual problem. The very successful people who were losing a lot of weight had the highest dropout rate in the program. Dr. Felitti was like, what's going on? And he started to ask questions. And he learned that most of these individuals were sexually abused or suffered some other adversity during their childhood. So fast forward, he hooked up with the CDC and the Kaiser Permanente for a study. They interviewed more than 17,000 people about their childhood experiences in the areas of neglect, abuse, and family dysfunction. So the ACE study shows the correlation between childhood adversity, toxic stress, and later in life illnesses and premature death. Obesity is one of these illnesses. So according to the Harvard University Center on the Developing Child, toxic stress response can occur when a child experiences a strong, frequent, and or prolonged adversity, such as physical or emotional abuse, chronic neglect, caregiver substance abuse, or mental illnesses, exposure to violence, and or the accumulated burdens of family economic hardship without adequate adult support. This kind of prolonged activation of the stress response systems can disrupt the development of brain architecture and other organ systems and increase the risk for stress-related diseases and cognitive impairment well into adult years. So the ACE study revealed a few very important findings. They cause adult onset of chronic disease such as cancer and heart disease, as well as mental illness, violence, and being a victim of violence. The more ACEs you have, the greater the risk for chronic disease, mental illness, violence, and being a victim of violence. People have an ACE score, of 0 to 10. Each type of trauma counts as one, and you recognize that if you did the test already, no matter how many times it occurs. So you can think of an ACE score as a cholesterol score for childhood trauma. For example, people with an ACE score of 4 are twice as likely to be smokers and 7 times more likely to be alcoholic. Having an ACE score of 4 increases the risk of emphysema or chronic bronchitis by nearly 400%, and attempted suicide by 1,200%. People with high ACE scores are more likely to be violent, to have more marriages, more broken bones, more drug prescriptions, more depression, and more autoimmune diseases, especially women in that area. People with an ACE score of 6 or higher are at risk of their lifespan being shortened by 20 years. ACEs are responsible for a big chunk of workplace absenteeism and for costs in healthcare, emergency response, mental health, and criminal justice. The fifth finding from the ACE study is that childhood adversity contributes to most of our major chronic health, mental health, economic health, and social health issues. On a population level, it doesn't matter which 4 ACEs a person has. The harmful consequences are the same. The brain cannot distinguish one type of toxic stress from another. It's all toxic stress with the same impact. This is incredible information if you didn't know that. And I hope that if you're listening to this, you will take the time to start reflecting about your life, the life of your loved ones, and see how you could be impacted by this. And we'll be talking much more about it. So also, allow me to add an interesting, or another, I guess, interesting to this conversation here. Whether you're a woman or a man, you got to listen up, because knowing this can make a huge difference in your life, especially when it comes to managing your own health and relationships. If you are a woman, take a deep breath now. Do it with me. Exhale big. Let your shoulders drop, because I'm about to drop some bombs here. Unfortunately, studies have shown that females have more complex patterns of childhood adversity. In turn, females are more significantly likely and more likely than males to report a range of ACEs and mental health, social, and emotional difficulties in adulthood. For example, women have a 2-to-1 ratio of depression compared to men. And if you have ever sit down with your brother, if you're a woman here, right, and to talk about, your childhood, compare notes, or even with other male in the family, and you might have noticed that the man don't remember as many details, especially when it comes to negative experiences. Well, it has to do also with the differences between men and women. So Dr. Margaret McCarthy, professor of neuroscience at the University of Maryland, discovered that males make about twice as many neurons during the first week of life as females. This may allow males to later forget some of the bad things that happen to them, including early life adverse events. I know. Now, here's another thing. The hormone differences between the genders also cause women to face higher rates of chronic conditions compared to men. I know this sound may be unfair and all, but there is nothing you and I can do about our genders, right? However, each one of us can take steps to heal. In next episode, I will talk about letting go of these traumas and some of the techniques related to letting go of these traumas so you can heal and grow to an even more extraordinary version of yourself. And if you don't feel extraordinary right now, let me tell you, you are extraordinary. Maybe you're not seeing that. And as a coach and as a trainer, and like I love to share information and inspire you to do your best to discover your best self, we're going to slowly continue to dig this stuff, okay? Look, I have a high score myself. More coming on that. And you or not, if you have a high score too, we're not doomed. So that's it about the ACE study for today. We got another episode on this guy. And in the meantime, when you're ready to kickstart your health transformation, get knowledge, accountability that you need to succeed, let's do this. Go to bfabbu.com and schedule a complimentary call. I would love to be part of your health village. And thanks for listening and to being part of my village. And if you enjoyed this episode, please do me a favor and leave us a rating. I would love to hear your feedback as well. And also go ahead and share this episode with a family member or friends, or not or, and how about that? So thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the BFABU Made Simple podcast. Can you do me a favor? If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and leave it a rating. It helps the podcast, and I really appreciate it. If you're wondering where to start, head over to my website, linked in the show notes, to sign up to receive encouragement, tips, and strategies to maximize results. While you're there, download a free health guide to get you started today. If you're looking for a coach and trainer to help you optimize your weight, body, and health, get on my calendar. Let's discuss your goals, establish a custom plan, implement it, and celebrate your results. Together, we can do this. Find the link to schedule a free energy audit strategy session also in the show notes. Connect with me on social media. I would love for you to let me know that you're listening to the show. Also, see the show notes for the links. In addition to a qualified healthcare practitioner, it's important that you have someone in your corner who is in for you and will help you to plan and stay on track implementing your goals. Are you ready? Let's rock and roll this boat. I will see you on the next episode of BFABU Made Simple. Just a reminder that this podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast is not a substitute for health care by a doctor or other qualified medical professionals. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services.